What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Monday, September 1st, 2025. We are here at the Polderbaan, standing a bit further to the north, just past the pipes. Was curious to see how things have progressed and also what my internet reception would be like over here. I'm also starting to hear some familiar sounds coming this way. Marja, goedenavond. And Mehmet, mate, thank you so much. Mehmet just now gifting already a membership before the stream even began. Ice Bear Mario is the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. Mehmet, thank you so much, mate. Good morning, firefighters. Oh, you're all keeping quiet. Oh no, you're not. Oh, looks like somebody has a case of the Mondays. The guys in the last truck didn't even make eye contact. Well, there you go. Simi, goedemorgen. Sebas, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. Gallus Close, good morning. Stefan, good morning. Handa, good morning. Jamie, goedemorgen. STE Parker, good morning. Jordi Ing, goedemorgen. Babbers, good morning. So, the entire quad squad is going to arrive here today. The Suriname A340 is underway, two 747s are underway, the A380 is underway, and a bonus is the Orange Pride. Triplet of wide bodies are going to land next. First up, KLM Flight 644, arriving from New York. Just fucking kidding. And then it is time for a 777-300 arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. After that, A350 Finnair, arriving from bloody Helsinki in Finland. Sander, thank you so much for your super chat. Alles lekker na je wekker. All good after the alarm woke you up. More or less literally translated. Well, not really. Alles lekker, everything good, na je wekker, after your alarm. Well, insofar as that is possible in the mornings on a Monday when the sun isn't shining that much, yeah. Well, obviously it could have been a bit better. A blue backdrop would have helped. Hopefully later today. Mighty Ravendar, good morning. Fabian, goedemorgen. Ramon, goedemorgen. Mark, goedemorgen. Daniel, goedemorgen. Marco, goedemorgen. Wouter, goedemorgen, good morning. Next up, 777-300 KLM 592, arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. That's a pigeon. Albeit not in focus, but that is because I have the focus set to manual. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Danny boy. Groover. Good morning. Gijs, goedemorgen. And the three ghosts, good morning. KLM stall landing. idle reversers and keeping up the speed so that they can vacate late. Hey there, Paul, good morning. Cloudy once again for the time being. For how much longer remains to be seen though. More open skies are expected to drift in from the west, and looking west you can already see there is a bit of an opening over there. Now, looking all around me, it's not going to happen anytime soon yet, by the looks of it. Now, if all is well, it is going to stay dry here in the upcoming hours. I did bring my umbrella along with me just in case, but if all is well, I shouldn't be needing it. Stefan, goedemorgen. Subuku, goedemorgen, herzlich willkommen. Richard, goedemorgen. Rob, goedemorgen. Jean-Yves, salut. Good morning, one and all. Mike Wild, good morning. Finnair, flight 1301, arriving next. Coming in from bloody Helsinki, Finland. 2 hours underway. A350-900. Oscar Hotel, Lima Whiskey Oscar is the registration. Bart, goedemorgen. Jan, goedemorgen. Dylan, goedemorgen. Uncle Plane Guy, good morning. Flying Dutchman, good morning. Nielzel, good morning. This airplane is 6 years old. Its first flight was in April 2019. Now, Simi, I saw your message about changing JavaScript lines 165 and 66. I did try it before going out, but testing it in the emulator resulted in no messages showing up at all. So I changed it back. But on my end, it didn't seem to work, unless I misunderstood what you were saying. But I just replaced the one bit for the other in those lines, and it didn't. I also unblocked that long sentence, that test sentence. Didn't seem to work, so I changed it back. And it should get better at some point. Stranger, good morning. Theo, goedemorgen. And Abdurrahman, aka Mehmet, mate, thank you so much for your generosity. Another 5 memberships gifted just now by Abdurrahman, which is the account of Mehmet's dad. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. And welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet if you're one of the recipients of his 5 gifted memberships just now. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity once again. And welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. In the meantime, the police just now passing by behind me on the cycling path. Mr. Blue Sky, where are you? Sweden? You're supposed to be here, mate. That's not the deal. We didn't agree to that. Hans, goedemorgen. Gertrude en Jacqueline, goedemorgen. Daniel, goedemorgen. G. Lee, good morning. Mario, goedemorgen. Jet, good morning. Cherryberry, goedemorgen. Marijke, goedemorgen. So, SS is coming in next, and after that it is EasyJet. The third airplane arriving is going to be a wide body arriving from Edmonton, Canada. Let's have a quick look and see what is coming our way. There are 2 747s on the way, the A380, the Orange Pride and the Suriname A340. First to arrive is going to be Singapore Airlines cargo, arriving in half an hour or so from now, about to enter Belgian airspace. Saudia approaching, expected at the time when only one runway is open, currently flying in Austria. Suriname A340 expected shortly before 11. The Orange Pride is returning around 12:20, and right now the estimated time of arrival of the Emirates A380 is 1:09. Transavia Retro is flying to Santorini. It's going to arrive there at 11:40, then it has to turn back, so that's going to return out of the scope of today's show, unfortunately. But yeah, if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, plenty more coming. Should be a good one today. Good morning, German Monster. David, goedemorgen. Alessia, goedemorgen. And Mehmet, once again, gifting a membership. Thank you so much, Mehmet. HGT, the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Skylounge, HGT. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet for the gifted membership. Have fun with the custom emojis. Mehmet, don't be spending money on the channel that you may need yourself. That would make me feel very uncomfortable. That goes for everybody. EasyJet up next. Arriving from Persenchester, flight 22161. 52 minutes to flight time. Gezzers is the registration. That's Golf Echo Zulu Romeo Zulu. Oh, almost a collision with that man there. Tall man, or is it a small airplane? It's probably a small airplane. HZ, good morning. Well, we're standing a bit further back from where normally I would have been standing, had there not been any dunes of sand and by now also grass. So this is a little bit of an off. To me it counts as a butt shot. Another opportunity to use those custom emojis. Let me quickly turn around. KLM Flight 676 is approaching, arriving from Edmonton in Canada. 8 hours and 4 minutes the journey has taken thus far. There it is, the PHAOA. The PHAOA is 20 years old already. First flight August 2005. Farmer passing by, I think. He did have a boat behind him, interestingly. Hey Tom, goedemorgen. And Tom Andeman is celebrating his 2-month membership anniversary. Up to more months. Mate, thank you so much for the ongoing support thus far. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know and let me see what I can do to fix it. That almost scared me. You don't expect it from KLM wide bodies, the reversers being applied, now do you? What the fudge? Hey Danny, goedemorgen. Just Marcel, goedemorgen. Morgen Sally. Green light, good morning. And Cherry Berry will be leaving the Netherlands tomorrow via Eva Air with a 777-300. Nice. Martin R, goedemorgen kerel. Hey Katie, good morning. And thank you so much for the generosity, the donation. Airplane dance today, fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Remember, even though it's not sunny, you still need to drink your vodka. Absolutely right. Well, speaking of drinking, I forgot to set my my timer for my my espresso machine, so I wasn't able to drink small, strong coffees, which is good for the bladder if you need to stream. So what I did was make filter coffee, took that along with me instead. More voluminous, so didn't intend on drinking it before going out, because then I would probably had to go to the bathroom by now. But I mustn't forget that before hitting the vodka, I am going to finish the coffee first before it starts getting cold. Although I have already drunk a substantial bit of it. So yeah, here we can see they're still working. The difference is, of course, here there's nothing on the dunes, and behind the excavator you can still see those poles lying there. And you can see with the excavator pushing it into the bottom of the canal. And with the guy standing next to it in the water, you can see just how tall these poles are. They look maybe 1.5 meters or so, 6 foot. Make that twice as big. Howdy Roelof, goedemorgen. Alex, goedemorgen, good morning. Dino in the tube, good morning. Paul, goedemorgen. Pensionado Leiden. De Vries, goedemorgen, good morning. Bowie de Powie, nice. Good morning. Tina, goedemorgen. Indeed, flood control, Paul. Alessia wonders what work they are doing. What they're doing is fortification of the dikes that they reinforced. So what they first did was lay additional sand here. They fortified the dike. It was more there was grass below the sand that you're seeing over here. Additional sand, and what they're now doing, but you're unable to see it from where we're standing, but I can show you over here. Those poles that they're driving in with the excavators, you can see over there, spaced evenly, and the boards behind it are there to keep the sand from sliding into the water, causing miniature landslides and endangering the structural integrity of the reinforced dike. So what they're doing, those are the poles, they're driving them into the ground, and those boards are over there and over there. Those are placed behind the poles, looking from this side, and basically make sure that the sand cannot slide into the water. Stranger says, so the water isn't really that deep. Well, not on the edges. It is a bit more deep in the middle. And indeed, Swissport worker, that worker is smoking while working. Guess if you have an outside job, you are still able to do that. And Katie is celebrating 5 months of membership. Only 5 months. Slacking. Shame on you, Katie. Nah, just kidding. That is just a matter of time. Now I am scrolling up in the chat, and unfortunately that now has caused a pop-up to appear and I cannot get rid of it. Means that my live chat isn't updating. Right, copy the URL, close the window, open a new window, paste the URL, set top chat to live chat, zoom in to the end, turn around the phone and re-enable split screen, and if all is well, think we are back at the end of the chat. FJWH? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we are at the end of the chat again. Roger, goedemorgen. Paul, goedemorgen. Armando, goedemorgen. Indeed, Alessia, it's a big job. They are already done with the majority of it. What they still need to do, of course, is get rid of the sand that is lying here on top of the ground. It is obstructing our view. Normally I would be standing much closer to the water so that we can also see the birds and whatnot from over here north of the pipes. You can see they haven't cut the grass. And that makes visibility into the canal even worse. Blue tractor coming, that's a New Holland most likely, with hay. But yeah, I also, since they began working here, I had to set up much closer to the cycling path. I'm standing like a meter or so in because there's rock right around the tarmac where I cannot place my guy wires or fixate them into the ground, which is what I always do for added stability. El flight 337, having arrived from Tel Aviv. Cyclists approaching from the other side, which is why the tractor is slowing down. They first need to pass before he can continue. Oh, and a fat bike as well. Our favorite vehicle. New Holland tractor with hay. Beautiful to see. Yeah, you go chase that fat bike. Make him scared. Anyway. So yeah, but if I thought somebody in the chat mentioned last week that there was a note to airmen which specified that this was going to last until September 19th. So another 2.5 more weeks. I sure hope that the job will be finished by then. It's been long enough. Should be fun with the Polderbaan back with normal visibility, and then also end of this month 0927 should be finished. Good morning, Yuri, Denny, De Vries. Oh no, already I said hi to you. James S, good morning. Twan, goedemorgen. Good morning, Jeff. Hey, and Captain Jerry is also back. Good to see you, Jerome. So 2 wide bodies on the glide slope, as you can see, and a third airplane. Oh, that's 3 wide bodies on the glide slope. I stand corrected. A vaguely visible glide slope, but yeah, still. First up, Delta Airlines flight 56, which is arriving from Salt Lake City in Utah. Not Mita, but Utah. Mituta. Mituta. Mituta loudly. No, tuta, tutor, honking in Dutch. Just a lame joke by yours truly. Ooh, cable. Emanating from the right flap tip. Little bit of reverser action there. Hey buddy, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Happy Monday to you all. Emirates Sky Cargo is coming in next, arriving from Aguadilla. And the full quad squad plus the Orange Pride are arriving. So Singapore Airlines is already in Dutch airspace. And the next airplane is either going to be Suriname with an ETA of 3 minutes to 11. Oh, well, Saudi is going to be the next. Oh. Saudi is going to be the next quad squad member to arrive. So it's the 747s first, then the A340, and then the A380. Emirates Sky Cargo flight 9916 arriving from Aguadilla, 7 hours 57 minutes on the way. 777 freighter, Alpha 6 Echo Foxtrot Yankee is the registration. Brand new airplane, less than a year old, first flight March this year. Come on, show us some reverser action. Well, come on. That was disappointing. That was disappointing. Hey Venno, goedemorgen. Paul West asks if you have alternative spotting locations at Schiphol. You certainly do. You should Google spottersguide.net, which is a very useful resource if you want to go to a different airport and you want to see where you can spot. Very elaborate. Spottersguide.net shows you the map of Schiphol and all the locations that you can spot from. Obviously some better than others, but it's very extensive. Hadian, goedemorgen. And good morning all others who joined. The next heavy hitter, Air Canada, flight 900, arriving from Montreal, Canada. It's a 7878 Dreamliner. With a little bit of wing fluff even. Lovely to see. 6 hours, 3 minutes, the journey. And there's a Quebec in the registration. Charlie Golf Hotel, Quebec Yankee. A Quebec Yankee. A Quebec Yankee is like a New York Canadian. All well on my end, Dukeman. Love this Monday stream, I get used to it. Well, it's a combination of Lisa being in Belgium still and returning only later today because she attended a family barbecue this weekend. So normally it's her shortest day of the week working, only in the morning a few hours. Thursdays she has to work, so it's a logical day for me to also do a stream then and have my day off on Monday. So that's it's the exception to the rule. Although I do retain flexibility, of course, with my streaming schedule. Nobody is telling me where or when I should or shouldn't stream, but I prefer to stream Thursdays through Sundays, weather permitting. Obviously, if weather will not permit me, like last Thursday, there's always the additional possibility of a Monday. Though I will not always use it. But yeah, it is an interesting day with the A340 returning. And then also the rest of the quad squad. And then Orange Pride as well. Don't think we had such a lineup last Thursday had I been able to stream back then. So in that respect, I do believe that this is the superior day to be streaming. Michael also back. Good morning. Henry, morgen. Von Relmond, good morning. Dallas, good morning. Hey, John Singleton is also back. Good to see you, John. Welcome back. Leroy, good morning. Right, the next airplanes are approaching the glide slope. We can already see some lights over there. That is Air Arabia Morocco arriving from Tangier. That is in the right livery. Delta Airlines flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, is behind it already. Yeah, not yet visible. Allows us some time to have a look at what is in store. So have a look along with me. The full quad squad is approaching. In fact, Singapore Airlines cargo is already downwind and is landing within minutes from now. 3 minutes according to flight radar. Probably a bit longer than that, but we should see it within minutes. The Queens arrive first today. The first one in a few minutes. The next one after that within the hour. 10:45 Saudia. SLM flight 994 arriving also within the hour. KLM flight 744. The Orange Pride returned from Lima shortly afternoon. Transavia Retro will not feature in today's stream because it'll arrive in Santorini in 42 minutes and then it has to fly back still, which is 2 hours 24 plus 41 minutes, so that's 3 hours still. It's going to be too late. Emirates, probably the last airplane for today, ETA 114. What's the weather like? The meter and the ticker updates automatically. We need to do a manual refresh to see the visuals, but let's do that. For some reason, the default runway it opens with is the one leased by commercial airplanes, the Oostbaan. This is the runway they're now using to land on. This is the orientation when they're landing on 18. Wind is more or less headwind, very small. I say it's very small. It's very gentle, 7 knots. It's 17 degrees. Few clouds at 1100 feet. Had it not been for those, it would have been Cavoquet, even though it is overcast and the sun isn't shining. Jewy Slijm says, ik wil niet zeuren. And by immediately saying that, you're already announcing that you are going to nitpick. I don't want to nitpick, but here I'm going to say something nitpicky. Shouldn't have said that. It's basically announcing you're going to nitpick. Psychology 101. Air Arabia Maroc has landed. Tess, goedemorgen. Martien, goedemorgen. Bas, goedemorgen. Roy, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And we're standing on the north side of Polderbaan. Another blue tractor with hay is coming. Another New Holland tractor underway, which you will pick up on the mic pretty soon. And they're still working to drive in those poles. There they are. And Bobbers, mate, thank you so much for your generosity. Great way to start the week, he writes. It certainly is. Wish visibility had been a little better than it currently is. Should get better as the morning progresses, but because normally speaking, we would have been able to see the Singapore 747 already. And now we're not. But thank you so much for your generosity, Bobbers. Johan, goedemorgen. Chris, goedemorgen. Hey, Gilberto. Good morning. Polderbaan. Not Vietnam. It's undoubtedly warmer in Vietnam than it is over here right now. Although with 17 degrees and 7 knots of wind, it's not cold. That doesn't keep me from standing with my fingerless gloves on already. But I have to keep the digits warm for fine motor skills. To give you zoomed in, precise shots like these without getting shakes. First of 2 queens is over there? Question mark? No, not yet. Not yet. 2 airplanes preceding Her Majesty the Queen. Now, where is Her Majesty herself? I think she's over there. Yes, that's her, all right. Only vaguely visible. First Quad Squad member of the show, 2 747s, the A340, and of course the A380. The two 747s and the A380 are going to land within the hour, so if you don't have to be anywhere, make sure you stick around. We're going to catch them all, just like Pokemon. The only one that is expected to get away from us to the center runway today is going to be the A380. The rest, I think, is going to land over here. At least, normally speaking, they would. Bon dia, Wagner. And Jerome is nitpicking. But those poles are called pals. Right, let's call them pals then. An excavator is not an excavator, but a pile driver in this case. And this is the gas grr. Grr. Come on, where is Her Majesty? She was visible a moment ago. Did she vanish into thin air? No, thin air already landed. What? So the clouds weren't in the way when she was higher up and further away, and now all of a sudden the clouds are in the way? What happened? What the fudge? Right. Well, the clouds most certainly are in the way. But there she is, the first Quad Squad member of today's show. The first of two 747s. The other is expected within the hour, as is the A340. Singapore Airlines cargo. Flight 7343 is arriving from Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, which is a country in Africa. Flight time for this beaut is 8 hours and 14 minutes as we speak. The 9 Victor Sierra Foxtrot India. And Optimus Toaster is also back in the chat, celebrating 1.5 years of membership. Goedemorgen. Sky Lounge is well stocked today. I'm happy to hear that, Optimus. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, and I hope you're going to stay around for many more months to come. Preferably in the lounge, but if not, being a regular is also okay. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Optimus. And perfect timing. Let's look and listen. Will she get loud? We'll soon find out. No, not an idle reverse landing. But you were supposed to get loud. Bastards. We didn't agree to this. This wasn't the deal. Well, a beautiful landing. I mean, a queen never grows old, but maybe the next one. Maybe the next one. Yeah, I suppose you're right, Jeff. There was floof and ribbons. Certainly don't get to see them during your average 747 landing. Next Quad Squad member shall arrive in 35 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Saudia Cargo, which is now flying in German airspace and approaching from the other side from the west. The Suriname A340-600, which was expected around 11, I think, a couple of minutes to 11. So if all is well, before 11, 2 more Quad Squad members. The Orange Pride is also underway, arriving from Lima in Peru. Expected shortly afternoon. And last time we checked, the ETA of the Emirates A380 was around 1:15. You're absolutely right, Optimus Toaster. I always take a quiet 7.4 over no 7.4 at all. You're absolutely right. And Singapore Airlines cargo is one of the prettiest out there, in my humble opinion. Just a classical livery. Everybody's fest has resumed. I do see that there is a CRJ underway. Michael. It's flying base east of the glide slope. Looking to be 3rd or 4th? 3rd probably. No, 4th. There are already 3 on the glide slope right now. Hey Yassine, goedemorgen. Johan, goedemorgen. Morgen Kong Cruiser. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan on the north side of the pipes for change. There is blue further away. This is looking west-southwest. Definitely, slowly but surely, opening up gradually. Can we have a look at the sun's surface? I don't think we can. Well, not right now. Maybe with the right density. With the right density, the clouds act as a filter, allowing us to look on the sun's surface. And if there are solar spots present, you should be able to see them, sunspots. More dense clouds drifting in. Will they, well, yeah, maybe. Or, no, still not dense enough. Or, yeah, maybe. Yeah, this looks, no, that's too dense. That's too dense. It needs to be the right density. And then it also needs to be big enough, or the wind needs to be calm enough to have a more elaborate look. Wasn't meant to be. Still, always nice to give it a go. The CRJ is turning in to become the 3rd airplane to arrive over here. SAS with an A320neo is going to be first. EasyJet with another A320neo second. Johnny, goedemorgen. Mark, goedemorgen. Mr. F, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody. This is SAS flight 1553, arriving from Stockholm, where it left from 1 hour and 47 minutes ago. Irish registered, EISIY. Sierra India Yankee. It doesn't feature a Karen cabin. Karen will have to sit with the plebs in the main cabin. And this plane has squeaky brakes to boot. Somebody call the manager. Unacceptable. My God. It's almost like an Embraer. Analia, good morning. Kasper, Next Next up, EasyJet arriving from Birmingham. Another A320neo, flight 27842. 48 minutes of flight time. This one is Austrian registered. Quite a few airplanes are registered either in Ireland, EI, or Austria, OE. This is the OELSU Lima Sierra uniform. It's an A320 Neorio, a year old. First flight was in March 2024. And for those of you joining us only just now, welcome to the show. You already missed the arrival of the Singapore Airlines Cargo 747. Saudia is still underway, as is the A340-600 flying on behalf of Suriname, USC. Both of them expected before 11. And then shortly after noon, we are going to see the Orange Pride returning from Lima in Peru. All these airplanes that I mentioned just now are scheduled for Polderbaan, if all is well. Under normal circumstances, they should land on the runway we are standing right next to. Expected around 1:15 is going to be the Emirates A380, which, because of its time of arrival, will probably land on the runway. Next up is going to be Lufty Flight 2302, the first CRJ of the show, provided that we can find it. Where, oh where? There. Ninja style. Low-key approach. Lufty CRJ. It's a Mitsubishi. It's a Mitsubishi CRJ 900 long range. Flight time has been 1 hour and 3 minutes according to flight radar, and this is the DEC NC Delta Alpha Charlie, November Charlie. Now the tractor is going to pass by me from south to north. The airplane is 16 years old. First flight was in May 2009, and that was the blue New Holland tractor once again. Now empty, the trailer. We'll see it again, I've got a hunch. Filled with hay next time. Butt shot? Yes, off-axis butt shot, there we go. Frits, goedemorgen. Dietmar, good morning. Rien, goedemorgen. W, goedemorgen. The NPS taking off from runway 24. Okay, that is nice. Before it hits the ceiling, well, there's no ceiling according to the METAR. Where is it? Peter, goedemorgen. Pilot John, good morning. There it is, the NPS. Unique, only one in the world in this livery. Martinair Cargo. It's the OG. The OG flying into the clouds already. In the meantime, we missed the landing of KLM flight 598, which returned from Cape Town in South Africa. slowly but surely, things do seem to open up a little. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point we are going to see the sun even shining. What? Air France flight 1444 is next to land here. It's a Bombardier C-Series 300, aka A220. 44 minutes flight time, nominal flight duration, the Verhupno. That's Foxtrot, Hotel Papa, November Oscar. Brand new airplane, less than a year old. It will turn 1 next month in October. It's the Bastia. Nice. Hey Lisa, tuning in from sunny Belgium. Why don't you take some of that sunshine along with you when you come back later today? Top of the morning, Senor Rodriguez. Welcome back, Evan. Hope all is well, mate. No, I'm not working too hard, mate. This is the labor of love. WestJet allegedly is the best jet. It's arriving next. Flight 70 from Halifax in Canada. 5 hours 17 minutes of flight time. It's a max 8. Registration Charlie Foxtrot November Alpha X-Ray. CF next. Hey, check it out. Alan has returned Big Al and he has turned blue, mate. Don't forget, remember to keep breathing. You're turning blue. It's the greatest showman and channel. Cheers, boy. Mate, thank you so much for your kind words, for your ongoing support as a member for 24 months already. Always a pleasure to have you in the show. Keep the banter coming. That is highly, highly appreciated. So keep coming back for the banter, Alan. And make sure to keep pissing people off. I know I certainly will. Shitstarter is my middle name, and I think it's yours as well. Alan, thank you so much for the ongoing support. What was it again that you said you were going to Vegas? Wasn't it in the upcoming week already? Big Al going to Vegas pretty soon as a bachelor and returning soon as a married man. Lisa says, I'll try to smuggle some sunshine with me. Will you come pick me up at the police station if I get caught? I am not sure that I will. If you get caught, not sure if you were careful enough. And do I still want to prolong with somebody who isn't very careful? I'll have to think, I'll have to sleep on that. Let me get back to that later. Let me get back to you on that later. Next up, Croatia Airlines, flight 450, A319, arriving from Zagreb, the 9A CTL. An hour and 35 minutes on the way. Oh wow. For some reason, in passing by, it looked like it was having a very steep climb rate. Hey, Arjan also back in the chat. Good morning, mate. Arjan, 1 month away from turning blue, 23 months a member. Mate, thank you so much for your ongoing support. And also for the many gifted memberships that you have gifted all throughout the time. What a tremendous support. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. I know I keep sounding like a broken record, but I mean it. If anything is amiss, let me know. Let me see what I can do to fix it. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Arjan. The next airplane is KM Malta, flight 394, arrived from Malta, A320neo. Johan, goedemorgen. Katja, good morning. Katja is also tuning in from Finland. JWB, good morning. Tris, goedemorgen. Selwyn, goedemorgen. KM Malta, arriving from Malta. That shouldn't come as a surprise. Explore more stories. Let's explore this. Well, have a look at what I'm seeing over here. It's brightening up. It's brightening up, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point the sun is actually going to shine here. What? That shit is crazy, bro. What? Impossible. It's September. We should have 6 months of rain, drizzle, and misery. Next up, KLM Flight 741. It's arriving from Cartagena, which is in Colombia, and that is right next to 9 hours and 12 minutes, the duration of the flight. It's the PHBKI Bravo Kilo India. 5-year-old airplane, first flight August 2020. Marike, goedemorgen. Dini, goedemorgen. Welcome one and all. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the first 747 landing in today's show. It was a Singapore Airlines cargo. But fear not, because more 747s are underway. Well, I say plural, but only one. Saudia will be next. Let's have a look. That's the Meetar website. Let's skip that. Have a look at Flight Radar. Saudia is already in Dutch airspace. Expected 10 minutes to 11, so 20 minutes from now. Also above London is Suriname, the A340. 3 minutes to 11, its estimated time of arrival. So before 11, the next half hour, 2 Quad Squad members are expected. The Orange Pride is expected 12 minutes past 12, and Emirates is expected around 10 minutes past 1. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, plenty more coming, and we're going to catch them all just like Pokemon. JP van Ruitenbeek, bom dia. And Yassine asks if I can say hi to Kareem. I hope I pronounced that properly. Kareem, groetjes. Ruben, goedemorgen. Ruben is sad that he missed the first 747. What time did it arrive again? Don't remember the exact time of arrival. I think within half an hour or so from now. I think it was shortly after 10 local time. Still worthwhile to look back. Singapore Airlines cargo, one of the prettiest 747s out there. Paul says maybe 15 minutes ago. Yeah, it was definitely somewhere between 10 and 10:30. I think somewhere around 10 o'clock. The sun is doing a half-assed effort to shine over here. That makes yours truly's shadow visible somewhat. It doesn't mean that glide slope visibility has improved significantly yet. There are 2 airplanes visible already. The third one turning in should be a 777-200 from United Airlines arriving from San Francisco. Here on the glide slope already approaching is KLM flight 1930 in the foreground, arriving from Geneva, and an EasyJet A320 Neo arriving from Prague as number 2 right now. "10:07 it was," Stefan says. Thank you for looking that up, Stefan. 10:07 local time. Bird control is also present. The wind is very subtle, and where I'm standing I'm not feeling any wind at all. This is what it looks like on the scale of chimney smoke. You can see that the windmills in the background are spinning a bit more. Seemingly more wind land inward than there is over here, which is odd. It's usually the other way around. Ah, Ruben found it. Great. It seems that we have also crossed through 250 likes. Thank you all so much for that. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. Hope everybody is. If you want to support the channel and you haven't liked the chat or the stream already, liking and subscribing is a free and easy way to support the channel. Helps to bring in new folks who don't know the channel yet, but who are into live stream aviation. EasyJet flight 27926. The OE Love. Ooh, love. United Airlines flight 968 is next. 777-200 originating from San Francisco. 9 hours and 40 minutes flight duration. It's the November 78008, which I think we also saw yesterday. The airplane is 26 years old. Its first flight was in February 1999. Helga, good morning. Ah, Helga has arrived safely back in Aachen. We spoke yesterday after the stream. It was a pleasure to meet you and your husband, I think. Antoinette, goedemorgen. Roger, good morning. At United, Karen gets to sit more closer to the pilots than on other airplane types. This airplane is from 1999, and you can see how they have learned from their experience back in the day. Have the Karen cabin too far to the pilots, to the front, and you're still not going to have a pleasant flight if you're sitting in the front. These days, on more modern airplane types, you can see that the Karen cabins, if they do come equipped with a Karen cabin, it's usually located in the back. That's learning from experience and further optimizing the airplane design. Marco, goedemorgen kerel. Marco still has vacation. Nice, mate. Nice. Next up, KLM 1402. And somewhere behind it is an A320 Aer Lingus flight 602 arriving from Dublin. Hey Christophe, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the arrival of the first 747 already. It landed 10:07 local time. The next 747 from Saudi is approaching and is expected in 15 minutes or so from now. And a couple of minutes to 11, the A340-600 is also expected to land here, arriving back from Suriname. The final Quad Squad member of today's show, the A380, is expected 1:15. That's the only one which will expectedly get away from us to the center runway. Now, as a bonus, not only are we going to see the full Quad Squad today, but the Orange Pride too. The Orange Pride is underway from Lima back to the Netherlands, and it is expected around 12:10. Hey Dalia, goedemorgen, good morning. It's narrow bodies for the time being, narrow bodies fest 2025. Two of them visible in the distance. Aer Lingus here in foregrounds, flight 602, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. That's an A320, and Lufthansa behind it also with an A320, arriving from Frankfurt. Third airplane behind that should be a 737-800 from KLM, turning in from the right, which normally we should be able to see. Today, with the current visibility, I'm not sure that we are. Flight radar says it's turning in right now. Flight 1268, arriving from Copenhagen. I, for one, am not seeing it. Should become apparent pretty soon, though. After that 737, which is now number 3, is an EasyJet A319 turning in. And an EasyJet A320neo behind it. Oh, look at that. Looks like an older gentleman who is inline skating. I commend him for staying active at an older age. That's highly recommended for everybody. Muscles, nerves, it's all subject to the rule of nature. Use it or lose it. You're still going to lose some of your muscle tissue, but it's going to happen much less quickly if you use them. So one tip that I can give you guys is to stay active at older age. Resistance training is the best. And I'm not saying that because I'm a gym bro myself, but because it has been proven. If you want to stay mobile and independent, make sure you take care of your muscles and bones. Lufty A320, flight 988, arriving from Frankfurt. You can see this airplane, they've learned from experience to place Karen in her cabin further to the back, as far away from the pilots as possible. Frank, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Jetstream Journeys, good morning. Anything I missed? Jetstream Journeys asks, and the answer is yes, sadly yes. 10:07 local time, the arrival of Singapore Airlines cargo. 747 landed here on the Polderbaan. You can see openness in the west, southwest. It's set to drift in as the day progresses. I think, is that also blue, are those also blue openings? I am not sure that they are. They do look, it does look like it. For the time being, over here, we are still experiencing overcast conditions, although now there too I can also see a bit of blue. So yeah, who knows? Maybe by the end of the stream, we'll be basking in sunshine over here. For now, this is KLM Flight 1268, arriving from Copenhagen. Copenhagen. And indeed, Frank, it is quiet all around me. No network congestion. I already did a speed test before going live here, and here too I have a great upload. 40 megabits per second, only 7 needed for a good quality stream. With the exception of a few passers-by who were walking just north of me, and then they stood there and returned again. And the occasional cyclist. And well, there's one guy sitting over there on the bench that is over there. And of course, one gentleman on the inline skates. Absolutely fantastic to see that man. It's all quiet over here. Hey Camille, good morning. And indeed, the airplane geek and health advocate. That's me, alright. Eddie, goedemorgen. Lucas, good morning. Long time no see indeed. Hope you've been well in the meantime. EasyJet, KLM, BA, and then Saudia with the 747. The second and last 747 of today's show, barring any surprise visitors. But there were no other 747s airborne when we checked. The skies are interesting. It looks grim and also more hopeful, all at the same time. It's a pity that we cannot see too far away. The Saudia 747, it's approaching. We're not even able to see the entire glide slope. There are 3 airplanes on the glide slope right now. But yeah, you can... there's number 2. Oh wait, there's number 3. Hey, does that mean... the 747 is turning in. Usually something that you can see in the background, but despite its size, I still think it's hard to see it unless we see it from the front and it has the landing lights on already. Nice A320 Neorio. QJ says Austrian Airlines is underway to Schiphol with their special livery, their Air Baltic livery. Always nice. Now, where is Saudia? Flight Radar says it should be on the glide slope right now. Usually the number 3 is at the 7 o'clock of the number 2. So I'm thinking somewhere in the middle there it should become apparent. But I've been wrong on many occasions about where to expect an airplane to become visible. In the meantime, KLM Flight 1752 arrived from Hamburg here in the foreground. This is British Airways BA Flight 430. And I am waiting for the 747 to appear somewhere in the field of view. Ah, we've got a visual. There it is. Second queen of the show. Gear already extended by the looks of it. Ja, Ron, goedemorgen. Lars, goedemorgen. Bert, goedemorgen. Wouter, goedemorgen. Saudia flight 933 with BA flight 430 in the foreground. Her Majesty is flying through clouds. And there it is again. There it is again. Saudia flight 933, the second 747 of today's show. The full quad squad is going to feature in today's show. One 747 already landed. Singapore Airlines cargo. This is Saudia coming in next. And a couple of minutes to 11, so within 15 minutes, if all is well, the next quad squad member in the form of the Suriname A340-600 is also going to land here. The A380 is the one that will arrive last, around 1:15. And with that time of arrival, it's going to land on the center runway almost certainly. Between the A340 and the A380, we are also going to see the Orange Pride. Orange Pride is arriving from Lima today, and it was expected shortly after noon, I think. JetBlue in the background, arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. And the airplane behind it is an EasyJet A320neo arriving from Copenhagen. Saudia cargo flight 933 arrived from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. The 9HAKJ Alpha Kilo Juliet. 5 hours and 24 minutes on the way. Number 10 on flight radar, tracked by 289 people. Rookie numbers. 28 years old, first flight November 1996. Yes, versers. And a girl.
That's the way, I like it,
Ah, interesting question Jan poses in the chat. What is the male counterpart of Karen? Is that Chad? Frank says a male counterpart is called Kevin. Karen and Kevin? Is that so? Is there a male counterpart of Karen? Yeah, exactly. Just call a male Karen Karen, wind them up even more. I also was under the impression that Karen, although a female name, was gender neutral and can be used for both genders. Which in itself is already a very sensitive thing to say these days. Because the number of genders apparently to some is debatable. Let's not go into that discussion. And Seth is celebrating half a year of membership, 6 months strong with the best YouTuber. Mate, those are big words. I'm not sure that I am the best. I do my best, that's for sure, but there's some stiff competition out there globally. I do strive to be one of the better ones out there. I'm happy to hear you are still enjoying being a member here at the channel, Seth. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come, and I hope I'm not going to disappoint you. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And also, thank you so much for the 300 likes. Massive big thank you to you all. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying what you've been seeing thus far. Don't forget, it's never too late to leave another like if you haven't done so already. If you want to support the channel for free, liking and subscribing is a way to help us reach a wider audience, bringing more people to join us in future live streams. Ah, Xeth is clouds. There we go. Leon, goedemorgen. And Jay, also back in the chat. Jay Remy, good morning. Welcome back, sir. Happy Labor Day from the USA to all AMS fans and all Waterbirds and all 747s and everyone in all NATO countries and our allies. Well, thank you so much. Happy Labor Day to you too, buddy. Hope you'll have a good one today. And thank you so much for the kind words and for your generosity, Jay. Anyway, Her Majesty is moving, and if all is well, won't be long. Which tractor is that? Was that a Fendt or a John Deere? If all is well, the A340 is going to appear pretty soon. Shouldn't be too far out anymore. Hey Agar, good morning. Ramon, goedemorgen, and thank you for the kind words. Jurding says a male Karen is called Chad. Yeah, that's what Jan also thought. A Chad is not necessarily a Karen, is it? A Chad is more a bro that wants to be tough. In my opinion. Karen just nags about everything being shit and is entitled and wants to speak to the manager. Anyway, interesting discussion. Keep the discussion going. Suriname now visible on flight radar over the Gulf of Yorkshire, flying base, and expected in minutes from now. If you need to grab a fresh cup of coffee, you still have a few minutes. New Holland tractor on the move over here. Have a look. It is a New Holland. Insofar as you were able to see. Baby blue tractor. Baby boy blue. And Speedbird having arrived from London City. Good morning, Martin. Good morning, NVT. Good morning, Rally Team. Lucas, goedemorgen. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? It's something blue, but it's not KLM blue. It's a darker shade of blue. It's a lovely shade of blue, if you ask me. It's ITA Airways, flight 120, arriving from Milan. Now, where there's one, there's usually another one not too far away. Where is 108? Is 108 coming this way or not? I don't see it in the immediate vicinity just yet. Bombardier C-Series 100 A220. Irish registered. What a traitor. Not even Italian registered. Flight time 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's a nice combo. Look on flight radar right now. 1 hour and 20 minutes to flight time. 120 for flight 120. It's all coming together. Karen cabin in the back. At a respectable distance of the pilots. Good morning, Aaron. Aaron was in DL9341 in seat 7A. Was wondering if you got our landing. I don't know. When did you arrive? Uriel, good morning. Yellow's Close asks, why are there so many aircraft registered in Ireland and in Austria? Well, I can speak for Ireland since during one of my studies I also wrote a thesis about how the corporate tax rate in Ireland has always been very low, and that is to get foreign direct investment. In other words, if you register your company in Ireland, you pay less taxes, which is why a lot of companies are located in Ireland. In fact, I receive my monthly YouTube income from Google Ireland as well, case in point. So, being located in Ireland as a company, as a global company, has tax benefits. Not sure if that also goes for Austria, but I suspect that might also be the case for Austria. Parallel arrivals are commencing. It's almost 11. And from 11 until 11:40, we usually get parallel arrivals on days where this runway use that we are currently having is being used. Hey Paula, goedemorgen. Long time no see. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope that also goes for you. The next airplane approaching is the A340. The next Quad Squad member, the third one of today's show, the third of 4. After the A340, there's still the A380, which is expected after 1 o'clock. And shortly after noon, we are going to see the KLM Orange Pride returning from Lima in Peru. We're now waiting for the A340 to become apparent. It's flying closer by the minute. So at some point, it should emanate from between the clouds. I think somewhere over there. Though it's always an educated guess where the airplane is going to appear. 600 variant Aaron. Wouter asks about Max Verstappen and whether or not I filmed his arrival. I didn't, or departure. Didn't film any of the Formula 1 things. I did see that pilot Sander, my mate, he filmed the arrival of Max Verstappen apparently. Have a look at his channel. He did film the arrival. I'm not sure if he also filmed the departure, but he definitely filmed the arrival. Happy to hear that, Paula. Lance, good morning, mate. Good to see you again, mate. If you only joined us just now, welcome to the show. You missed 2 747s already, but you are still in time for this, the A340-600 Suriname Flight 994, arriving from Paramaribo. 8 hours and 47 minutes on the way. It's the Dows, the Delta Alpha Uniform Sierra Zulu. 8 hours 47 minutes of flight time. 21 years old, first flight December 2003. We can already see the next airplane behind the A340 appear. That's a Dreamliner from KLM. Arriving from Toronto by the looks of it. Yep. Flight 696, 7879. The New Holland tractor that was carrying hay the other way around is now returning from the south to the north. Right, Suriname, A340-600, returning from Paramaribo. Will it get loud? The second 747 did get loud. The first 747 landed with idle reverse. What's the A340 going to do? Fingers crossed. We're going to find out in a moment. Idle reverse. As another tractor passed me by, to my surprise, it sounded like it was using its reversers, but you weren't able to hear it as such before it passed by. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Right, 3 quad squad members down, 1 more to go. The next quad squad member is going to be the A380, expected around 1:15. Though you informing us that Korean Air Cargo 747 is going to take off from runway 24. That's a good reason to keep the camera in that area where we're now pointing it to. Thanks for the heads up, W. Let's see then. Hey, friend Sebastian, guten Morgen. No need to be apologetic about being later. Korean Air Cargo on its way. Is it going back to Seoul or where's it going to? Bit of wing fluff. More wing fluff. And hitting the clouds. Hitting the clouds. Going to Seoul, there you go. Air Canada, bank robber here to take our money. Flight 808, arrival from Toronto, 6 hours and 37 minutes the flight time. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Welcome back. Now, if you joined us only just now, 3 quad squad members you may have missed the landing of already. The last one is now on its way back to the main platform area, the Suriname A340. 2 747s already landed here. The last one 10 to 15 minutes ago, and the first one around 10:07 local time. The Orange Pride is the next airplane of interest to return to Schiphol, expected for the Polderbaan shortly after noon. And 1:15 or so, the ETA of the Emirates. Last time we checked at least. Let's have a quick look on Flight Radar to see what we can expect in that respect. So the cargo still taxiing and visible on flight radar. Orange Pride ETA 1220. Flying over Romanian airspace. ETA of the Emirates is 109. Quick refresh of the weather situation. The meter is updating in the ticker automatically. But for those of you who want to see the visuals, this is what it looks like. Wind is blowing from the south, southwest, means mostly headwind, 11 knots, it's 18 degrees C, that's a tad below 70 F. Few clouds at 1,100 feet. That's the current status quo. So yeah, if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, we're going to catch them all, just like Pokemon. Marcel, goedemorgen. I had a good weekend, thank you for asking, Uriel. Hope that also goes for you. I'm not completely alone anymore. There are some passers-by who are seated over there. There's still a guy on a fat bike a bit further to the north. And from behind there are 3 guys also approaching. For those of you who are member, the next airplane after this, airplane already visible, is red and is a custom emoji for you guys. While we still have the opportunity to use it, play. So if you want to make the chat bleed, your moment of opportunity to do so is always, because you can use custom emojis however you see fit. If you guys want to orchestrate a red chat with all the play custom emojis, as members you are allowed to do so. Spamming is not allowed, but all the members can use the custom emojis as much as they want. There you go, Lisa. There you go. Come on, you can do it. Spam, spam, spam. Ooh, that's a good one, Frank. A fat bike could also be called a chat bike. Now, have a look. I spy with my little eye more blue in the sky coming this way. It's going to get more sunny here in due course. Sure looks like it. Ah, perfect for the interview for Flight Academy. The COVA or for the initial part of the selection process? Good question, Rob. Why aren't fat bikes working out in the gym? God damn it. Those are the questions that matter. Those are the questions that matter. Why aren't they? Anyway, this is Play Flight 460 and the chat is turning red. Hey, Kova, nice. The last bit. Well, and then the medical. Make no mistake. I also thought I was there. Just the medical is what they said. But for most people, that's just a formality. Play Flight 460, returning from Reykjavik in Iceland. A320 Neo. The TFPPA. Joe Bima, good morning and welcome to the show. All others who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan where 2 747s have already landed and the A340 has too. Tractors driving back and forth. This is a fend. Don't get offended. Guys are going to be in the way. Right, EasyJet? No, Eastern Airways arriving from London Biggin Hill. Interestingly. No flight number, just a call sign 923 Papa. I suspect this may be a relocation flight. What does that thing say? Oh, Vos, I was about to say something else. FUD or something. Right. Anyway. I think this is a relocation flight. It may be a relocation flight. I was wondering about the second ETA, flight 108. I have our answer. It's flying over there. Bombardier C-Series 300, aka A220. This is flight 108 arriving from Rome. It's going to the wrong runway.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Right, let's see what else is in the pipeline for the Polderbaan. The next airplane should be an Embraer 175, arriving from Persenchester. It's probably going to be followed by an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. Most of the traffic now approaching is going to the center runway by the looks of it. The lights already shining. KLM flight 1030, arriving from Persenchester. That's an Embraer 175. Flight time 50 minutes. The Papa Hotel Echo X-ray uniform. And that's been flying for 50 minutes now. It's 7 years old. First flight January 2018. KLM flight 982 seems to be the next airplane to the Polderbaan. Only now turning in, pretty far to the north. Hey, all the best, Uriel, and good luck with the COVA meeting. You can do it. COVA, Commissie van Aanname, it's the acceptance committee. Last formal step, with the exception of the medical of the KLM Flight Academy. So if Uriel will pass the commission, and assuming no color blindness or other medical reasons to reject the medical, Uriel is going to fly, start with KLM Flight Academy pretty soon. So very important interview coming up. Martin looked into it and says it appears there are no scheduled services from Biggin Hill. Yeah, what I suspected. Now, right now, I'm starting to get a little cold because the sun isn't shining and the wind is starting to pick up pretty soon. I think I might have to change from my premium hoodie to my vest or maybe even t-shirt. Nah, t-shirt is probably going to be overkill with the wind blowing. But we are going to see more sunny approaches pretty soon. keep thinking I'm hearing a siren left of me. Looking and listening, I'm not seeing or hearing anything. Meanwhile, approaches to the center runway are continuing. Narrow bodies for the time being. The first wide body is coming for Polderbaan, and that is Delta Airlines Flight 162. It's flying base and is about to hit Dutch land. Hey Pate, what up mate? KLM 737 and an Embraer 190 arriving from London City should be next. There it is, KLM flight 982. The siren is due in 45 minutes. Of course, it's the first Monday of the month. First Monday of the month, and here in the Netherlands we always test the alarms out loud at 12 o'clock noon. We'll start hearing it again. You've heard it before. KLM flight 982 arriving from London City. Approaching here now. Delta Airlines flight 162 is turning in. That's the next airplane arriving here for the Polderbaan. It's 11:17. That means we're almost halfway through the 40 minutes of parallel arrivals. From 11:40 until 1, most of you will know by now, only one runway open for inbound traffic, and that's going to be this runway again. The coffee is finished, so it's time for the vodka now. Flight radar tells me that there is a bizjet approaching, and against the white backdrop I am able to see it a bit more easily actually. Or at least I was. One of my cables is a bit tight. Cannot turn. Need to wait until I can turn around. Now it's flying through clouds. Now you can see it again. That was the remote zoom camera, the remote zoom cable. That was a little in the way. For a very extreme turn and positioning of the camera, was a little too tight. Hey Oksana, good morning, welcome back. Now for those of you joining us only just now, you probably have missed the arrival of two 747s and the A340 already. The next airplane of interest arriving here is going to be the Orange Pride in an hour or maybe a little less from now. The last Quad Squad member of today's show is going to be the Emirates A380, which is expected around 1:10. That time of arrival means it's probably going to go to the center runway, unfortunately. But we are still able to see it quite well from over here. The next approach to Polderbaan is not yet apparent, but soon will be. It's a Delta Airlines A330 flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is 7 hours and 57 minutes on the way as we speak. The November 822 November Whiskey. A 10-year-old airplane. Not yet visible, but soon will be. Caribbean Flight Simmer says every plane coming from the east is going to for 18C. I'm guessing you're right. As long as two runways are open, that's usually the division of labor. Everything arriving from the southwest and from the west is going to the Polderbaan. Everything arriving from the east to the center runway. Now Delta Airlines has become visible. The 10-year-old A330, first flight April 2015. Flight 162, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours and 58 minutes on the way. Oh, that was a ducky that I saw on my right-hand side pass by just over the water. Probably wouldn't have been able to film it regardless. Of course, as long as these sand dunes are over here, I still need to be standing right next to the cycling path where the ground is highest to see over the piles. The camera right now is already set up higher than normally would have been the case. You need all the bells and whistles to get your camera position as high as you can possibly get it. Hopefully it's going to be over pretty soon. Don't know who it was, but somebody mentioned the other day that in the NOTAM it was mentioned everything was continuing until the 19th of this month. So in 2.5 weeks, should be back to normal again over here. Certainly hope that's going to come true, preferably a bit earlier even. Good morning, Alan, and good morning, Razor. All's well on my end over here today, absolutely. Now, have a look at the contrast. This is looking to the east, this is looking to the south, and now this is looking to the west. Things are opening up. Pretty soon the sun is going to shine over here. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching Aviation Live. My name is Boye. We are here at the Polderbaan. 18 right. At the moment, one of 2 runways open for arrivals. Two 747s have already landed. The A340 600 has already landed. The Orange Pride is still out, as is the A380 from Emirates. The former arriving shortly after noon, the latter shortly after 1. For the moment, everything inbound is assigned center. Although I'm not sure, I think EasyJet arriving from Bristol probably will come to the Polderbaan. Unless they're going to do a runway inspection. Hey, Roxana is back in the Aurora Sky Lounge, renewing her membership. Welcome back. Thank you for the vote of confidence. We kept your seat warm. Left everything the way you left it. Good to have you back, Roxana. Welcome back to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Now, don't forget, all of y'all, if you're a member, you can use those custom emojis that are at your disposal as often and as inappropriately as you can think of. Surprise us, make us laugh, but use them. Very inspiring. Man. An elderly man who is inline skating. Good example to everybody. Make sure you stay physically active as you get older. Make sure you prevent injuries, of course, but keep the muscles moving, ideally with resistance training, and grow old, mobile, independently and safely. Or at least improve your chances, I should say. As I was suspecting might happen, a bird control runway inspection is in progress. K1 is doing the honors. These buildings belong to what used to be a sugar refinery. Now it's a congress center where you can rent rooms and hold meetings, but sugar beets used to be sent to that location to be refined into sugar. Another bizjet. Is that a Pilatus PC-24? Where did I see it? There it is. Oh, that's Air Icarus. Be careful, mate. Don't fly too close to the sun. Pieter, goedemorgen. And Mario, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's see. So the EasyJet A319 arriving from Bristol is going to the center runway. And it looks like the Embraer 175 is doing the same. I'm wondering if we can see it as it moves towards the center runway glide slope. No, I don't think we are. It was a PC-12, not a PC-24, PC-12. In the meantime, police is approaching behind me. Buitenbewaking Schiphol, BBS. It's the department of Roelof and his colleagues. Guarding the outer parts of Schiphol. Which is why I'm always running into them. Since we are in the outer parts of Schiphol. Right here. In case you hadn't noticed, with all the tractors driving up and down the cycling path right behind me. There's the windsock indicating the wind is still blowing from the south. Over there it looks like it's more south-southeast. The Rozzers, indeed, Jeff. Here we have the fire station and here we have the dedicated tower for the Polderbaan. In the meantime, a lot of traffic is approaching from east and west north of Schiphol. It's 11:29. And the fact that the Polderbaan is getting a runway inspection right now is indicative of the impending closure of the secondary runway, which is scheduled to happen around 11:40, normally speaking. Might be that they are closing it a bit sooner, it might be that they leave it open a bit longer, depending on the offering of traffic. Which, if you are looking on flight radar, you can see from the east there's still a lot coming. I'm hearing traffic overhead. I'm not able to see any contrails yet. It will happen soon enough though. The sun has begun to shine over here right now. The first bit of blue. And is that Mikey the Bloody Magpie? Or is that Russell Crowe? Might be Russell. Ah, that was Air Canada A330 that I was hearing then, probably German Monster, indicating that Air Canada A330 passed by. I can see some blue between the clouds, and I'm not seeing any contra remnants. Not over here, and nor on that end where it probably is in the sky right now. It's definitely opening up, as you guys can see. The sun right now is shining, so that is lovely. Indeed, always National Geographic on AMS Live. Absolutely. AMS Farm Life as well. Corn is growing over there. Now, unfortunately, we're not able to see the glide slope extensively yet. Frank prefers a shepherd's pie over a magpie. Well, I think I prefer it the other way around. I think I prefer to see a magpie than eat a shepherd's pie, although with vegetarian minced meat, it can be very tasty. Can't go wrong with a combination of mashed potatoes and cheese and, well, in my case then, vegetarian. I'm looking up to see if I can spot the A400. Yeah, A400, right? It's a very typical sound. It is a very typical sound, unique, immediately recognizable. But it's impossible to see, unfortunately. I'm sure you were able to hear it as well, but apple pie, that is definitely something I would love some of right now. With some whipped cream. It seems that we've crossed through 400 likes according to Maria. Thank you all so much for that. I'm happy to see you guys are enjoying what you've been seeing thus far. Hope that goes for all of you. If you are enjoying what you're seeing and you haven't liked the stream yet, consider doing so. If you want to help out for free, help us reach a wider audience. The likes and subscriptions go a long way in bringing in new people. People who are into streams like these but who haven't heard of the channel yet. It's the likes and subscriptions of people who have gone before you that made you run into AMS Live at some point. So if you think the content is worthwhile, maybe it's time to return the favor for the future viewers. Parallel arrivals are still in progress. I wonder what will be the last airplane to the center runway. I see number 175 over Markham Meer, arrival from Hanover, flight 1788. Is that still going to the center runway? And the Transavia behind it, arrival from Corfu? Or will those already go to the Polderbaan? That's what I'm wondering. E2 Embraer 195, landing here. She looks pregnant. Some airplanes look pregnant. Others can hide it a bit better. Now Martijn and Quartz M, thank you both so much for your respective donations, both your super chats. Monthly Boyflix subscription fee, says Martijn. Well, thank you so much for that, Martijn. Boyflix. We should copyright that name. If Netflix will allow us to. Thank you so much for that. Egg Quartz M, thank you too for your smile and super chat. Hope you guys are enjoying the content still. We're waiting for the next airplane of interest to arrive, which is going to be the Orange Pride. It's going to arrive in half an hour? No, a bit longer still. A bit more than that. 12:20 or so, the last time we checked. And the Emirates A380 is expected 10 minutes past 1. Very likely candidate for the center runway. Another blue New Holland tractor with hay will pass me by. All planes arriving from the east are still assigned to center. Dankjewel Marissa, thank you. Gerard, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Hadi Hans, goedemorgen. Well, it's a lot of Embraers, so they can keep them. Get the interesting airplanes, the wider bodied airplanes here. Send all those Embraers to the center runway. Sounds like a good plan to me. Russell and his crony are over there, or were there at least. He's like, wait, where did you go to? Why are you leaving already? Oh, shoot. He says, it's the Russers. The Russers for the birds. Bird control. Another E2 Embraer over here. It's Embraers to both runways right now. Lance says, what do you call a group of Embraers? An embarrassment of Embraers, of course. Well, in that case, there's always something embarrassing happening here at Schiphol Airport, because my god, do we get a lot of Embraers over here. Luckily, there's also something to change the pattern every now and again. This is KLM flight 682, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. And this is a 777-300. 8 hours and 42 minutes on the way. The PHBVV Bravo Victor Victor. 4-year-old airplane. First flight December 2020. That was sweet. Haven't seen much of a wheelie competition over here today yet, but I think we had our first contestant for the longest wheelie of the day just now. So yeah, it's opening up. That makes for a nice, interesting, contrasty sky with the east still looking pretty dark. The south, so-so, and the west, as almost always the case, more open. Now, I'm happy to see that there's also a bit of blue over there. It means that slowly but surely the glide slope visibility should improve as well. And Gilberto, thank you so much for your super chat. Big planes, wild animals, and fast and furious tractors. Indeed, that's MS Live in a nutshell. Absolutely, you're right. Thank you so much for the support. And indeed, that's a good observation. MS Live in a nutshell. KLM flight 1076 arrival from Bristol is next. Embraer 190 with KLM flight 924 behind it. That is a 737 arrival from Scotland, from Ellen,
Bruh.
to be precise. So this is KLM flight 1076 arrival from Bristol, and that is an
Bruh.
190. The excavator is still being used as a pile driver to drive in piles into the canal. This is KLM flight 924, arriving from Edinburgh. 1 hour and 6 minutes on the way. It's the Papa Hotel BCA Bravo Charlie Alpha. Another baby blue New Holland tractor is coming my way with hay. Cabin cabin on this airplane, and you can see they learned from the experience of the 777-200s, and here on the 737 it's also placed further to the back. Bra indeed, Georg. Mrs. J tuning in from South. Welcome back. Now, if you are gluten intolerant, you might want to look away for the next airplane. It's EasyJet flight 22515, arriving from Celiac City, 41 minutes on the way, and it's the guests. Well, don't want to give your guests some cramps, but that's the registration of this airplane. Golf Echo Zulu, Tango Zulu. Stefan says, if people from Poland are called Poles, why don't they call people from Holland Holes? That's a good question, though. For some reason they're called Dutch. Doesn't seem to make any sense, does it? Gallus Close asks if there are any Karen cabins on tractors, or is that not a thing yet? Well, I think Karens have not gone into agriculture that deeply yet. Which is why I haven't seen any Karen cabins on tractors yet, or at least not the ones that I have filmed thus far. The sunshine was only short-lived. Now once again a bit more cloudiness in front of the sun. Still more openings over there. Also some interesting low clouds at the southwesterly horizon that are also seemingly coming this way. Next up, KLM. No, not KLM, Transavia. Transavia flight 5624, arrival from Palma de Mallorca, 1 hour and 58 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Hotel X-Ray, November. Six-year-old airplane, no carry-on cabin on board this one. First flight December 2018. Good morning, Freddy Dutch. Good morning, Wilma. And welcome to the show, everybody else. Let's have a quick look on Flight Radar. Hey, Stacy is also back. Welcome back, Stacy. Hope all is well. So, parallel arrivals are still in progress. I'm wondering if KLM Flight 1292 arrived from Billund is going to be the last airplane to the center runway. For now, it looks like it. We're still waiting for the arrival of the Orange Pride, which will be the next airplane of interest. So let's have a quick look and see where they are. The A380 was still active. It's almost in Austrian airspace. Its estimated time of arrival still stands at 1:09. And 12:20 is still the ETA of the Orange Pride arriving from Lima in Peru. The Transavia Retro is scheduled to leave from Santorini pretty soon, but its estimated time of arrival here in the Netherlands is 3:15. That is if it doesn't run into any delays. It's to 11:47, and that means in 13 minutes from now we are also going to hear alarms being sounded. The first Monday of the month, around noon, you always hear the alarms being tested out loud. Will not mean that the country is under attack, although if I were a terrorist and I was planning on attacking the Netherlands, I would definitely consider doing it on the first Monday of the month at noon. Two airplane glide slope shot with TUI flight 822 as number 2. Arrival from Cancun. Excavator coming my way with a tractor behind it. That's another Fendt. Don't be offended. It's a green Fendt. Hey there, Rob. Welcome back. And welcome to the show, everybody else. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed 3 Quad Squad members already. 2 747s, the A340-600. But the 4th is still expected. The A380 we're still waiting for. And in the meantime, we are also going to see the arrival of the KLM Orange Pride. The Orange Pride is expected in half an hour from now. And an hour or so later, the A380 is expected. Let's turn around. KLM, no, not KLM. Why do I keep saying that? KLM just now landed, arriving from Newcastle. This is TUI. TUI flight 822, arriving from Cancun in Mexico. 8 hours and 47 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Tango, Foxtrot, Juliet. The airplane is 10 years old. Its first flight was in January 2015. And after that, KLM flight 972, arriving from Humberside. KLM flight 912, arriving from Aberdeen. Now there's flex in the wings. Boom, spoilers go up. Gone is the flex. Next up, KLM flight 972. That's an M170 arriving from Humberside. It's an M170 long range to be precise. 41 minutes of flight time. 20 years old. Hey, and there's a boat in the water. Crayfish fisherman. Checking the nets. Here we have KLM flight 972 Embraer 170 arriving from Humberside. 42 minutes of flight time, 20-year-old airplane, first flight somewhere in 2005. Embraer 190 behind it, 737 behind it, and then Delta A330 behind it. So Delta turning in now, becoming the fourth to arrive, including this airplane. Shame on you, Gilberto, for forgetting the fisherman in your statement. British Opera Embraer 170. Oi, oi, oi. Winds are still calm, relatively speaking, even though the windmills in the background are active. There's a bit more movement in the clouds of the chimney smoke. Big picture wise, this is what it looks like to the west. At the horizon, more clouds. Closer by, more blue sky. The same can be said for the north at the moment. The east is still most cloudy, both immediately looking up and a bit further to the east. This is what it looks like to the south. The sun will shine again, but first this whole batch of high clouds needs to pass. Undoubtedly it will happen at some point. For the time being we have to wait a little. I can see that after the Delta, which is now third to arrive, there's also a KLM 777 flying base. KLM flight 604 arriving from LAX. And that's the 777-200ER. And this is Herpa Derpa Derpa. Herpa Derpa Derpa, going viral for 75 years already. Such a shame, from all the special liveries. No more Chucky. And both of those Adlers, no more. Just Herpa. Herpa, the only survivor. Good morning, Mike. And Captain JG. Good morning, GJ. Good morning. Right, our next airplane. Arriving from Faro, Transavia flight 5356, 737-800, 2 hours and 35 minutes flight time. Papa Hotel, Hotel Zulu, India. 25-year-old airplane. Its first flight April 2000. Time for 2 wide bodies after this. Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan will be next first. And then KLM arriving from LAX. Next up is going to be Delta Airlines Flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. There it is. 7 hours and 8 minutes on the way, the November 817 November Whiskey. The airplane that you see in the background is a 777-200 arriving from LAX, KLM Flight 604. Hey Nate, welcome back mate. Comfy start to the new week to you too mate. I am once again hearing the sounds of an airplane passing overhead on cruising altitude. As you can probably guess, I'm unable to see anything. The airplane that you're currently looking at is 18 years old. Its first flight was in April 2007. Let's quickly turn back the camera. Next airplane arriving is KLM Flight 601, arriving from LAX, 9 hours, 54 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec, Charlie. Ground speed of 130 knots as it is approaching. 9 hours 54 minutes flight time. Hey Serena, hey there Carol in the world. Welcome to you both. Hope all is well. The KLM Orange Pride is expected in 20 minutes. If you join us only just now, you may have missed the two 747s and A340 already. We're sticking around until the A380 will have landed, which is expected around 1:10, which makes it a candidate for the center runway, unfortunately. The rest of the airplanes have or are expected to land here on the Polderbaan. This is the PHBQC. It is 21 years old. Its first flight was in November 2003. The next airplane after this is going to be KLM Flight 1174, arriving from Stavanger. That's number 190. Now in the process of turning in further to the north. So quite a bit behind this airplane. Center runway has definitely closed. So for another hour, if all is well, everything inbound should be landing on this runway, the Polderbaan, 18 right. Karen has to be slim if she wants to fit in that cabin. That's another evolution, of course. Instead of a big fat Karen cabin in the front, you can also just narrow it down. Only slim Karens will be able to fit. The rest will just have to sit with the plebs in the cabin, which is of course something that a privileged person like Karen will not want to do. So she'll just book another flight. Oh, can you tell it's 12 o'clock? Hey there Fossy, good afternoon. It has turned afternoon just now. Indeed Niels, luchtalarm. While the alarm is sounding, Wouter is announcing his departure. Fijne middag. See you on the next one. Indeed, Rob, it's the Karen alert. I want to speak to the manager. Do you know who I am? Right, well, that was it. The monthly out loud test of the air alarm. Everything was still working, as you guys could hear. Apparently there was some buffering. Should be good again. Delta Airlines Flight 144 arriving from Seattle, Washington, 8 hours and 56 minutes on the way, the November 406 Delta X-Ray. A330 Neo, 5 years old, first flight April 2020. Next up is going to be KLM Flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. That's a 777-300ER. And I can see that another one of those airplanes is flying base arriving from Panama City. It's a nice double combo of 777-300 followed by number 190. KLM Flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 777-300ER, 7 hours and 8 minutes underway. The PHBVG, Bravo Victor Golf. The airplane 13 years old, first flight May 2012. Find things slowly but surely opening up here. Now we can see the Embraer 190 on the left. That's KLM Flight 964 arriving from Teesside or Darlington. KLM Flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 7 hours and 10 minutes on the way. The PHBVG, Bravo Victor Golf. 13-year-old airplane, first flight May 2012. Next up, KLM Flight 964 arriving from Teesside or Darlington with the next 777 already behind it. That is KLM Flight 758 arriving from Panama City. This is number 190 long range on the right, of course. The Golf Charlie Lima Sierra November. Doug is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Doug. Welcome back. Hope all is well. Number 190 is 18 years old, hailing from 2007, the month not specified on flight radar. And the 777 arriving from Panama City is the PHBVC. 9 hours and 52 minutes on the way. That is a 16-year-old airplane. I'm talking about the triple. And Doug watched the T-side flight take off this morning. Nice. Seeing it take off and then seeing it land at its destination, that is satisfying. Gary in Amsterdam also back. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope all is well. The Orange Pride, the next airplane of interest, is not too far out anymore. It's flying over the Gulf of Yorkshire. Flight radar mentioned its ETA in 10 minutes from now. Might be a bit longer than that actually, but we'll see. In the meantime, here behind me the sun has also started to shine again. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan, Roman 18 ride, with the full quad squad featuring in today's show. The 747s, 2 of them have already landed here on the Polderbaan earlier in the morning. The A340 also already touched down here. We're still waiting for the Emirates A380, which has an ETA of 1:10 p.m. local time, obviously. And before that, in 10 or so minutes from now, if all is well, the KLM Orange. We started the day with weather that, if you point the camera to the east, is still not too far away. Luckily though, more openness is drifting in from the south and from the west. You can see a linear formation in the clouds, so-called Cloud Street, Wolkstraat. Indicative of the direction of the wind. The wind today is blowing from the south. It's coming from over there. That's where things are opening up. Let's quickly turn around. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Wesley asks if I also watch the TV shows that are related to Schiphol. No, I do not. I hardly watch anything on TV except for the news. Don't have much time to do anything else. Streaming, my day job, going to the gym, household. That usually keeps me occupied most of the time. Then I also try to have some time to do something with Lisa every now and again. And before you know it, your week is entirely filled. This is Transavia flight 6918 arriving from Olbia. The Papa Hotel Bravo Lima, 1 hour and 53 minutes on the way. Rudy, goedemiddag. And good afternoon to all others who may have joined us in the meantime. We saw this one land this morning and it's now going back to bloody Helsinki in Finland. It's Finnair The A350. Nice that we are at least able to see it. Now it's remarkably crowded here, particularly for a Monday, with people north of me. I wonder if it is also very busy on the south side. It definitely seems to be a bit crowded, I should say. Gary says I was confused what day it was with all those people. Yeah, it's easy to mistake this for a weekend day. Once again, I'm standing in the sunshine over here. The sun has begun to shine again. Will it be for a longer period of time than the previous time? Not too convinced yet that it will be. Yeah, that's right, Marissa. School holidays are over now for the entirety of the nation. This is KLM flight 1088 arriving from Cardiff. 57 minutes on the way. The next airplane that you can see behind it, that is a KLM A330 with a countdown, no, not a countdown flight number. It's KLM flight 767, A330 arriving from Bonaire. Yeah, and as I already suspected, the sun already hiding again behind the clouds. In the first bout. Undoubtedly more sunny when I'm done streaming and I'll be going home. Further to the west, things definitely more open, and it seems that the lads from the coastal patrol are also from the Coast Guard are also going where the sun is shining more actively, flying out to the west for a coastal patrol. The Dash 8-100, still Canadian registered. What age is it? 38 or so? 38 years old, I think. Let's quickly turn back. KLM flight 767 arriving from Bonaire. 8 hours, 57 minutes on the way. Fuck D. Fuck D is arriving. Fuck D arriving from Bonaire. And what is that? Is that a bird of prey? Where is it? Come on. Come on. Here. It should be here. Pretty sure that's a bird of prey. Oh! It's reversing! Fuck D! The pilots were like, hey, that AMS live guy is pointing the camera not to us. Let's awaken him by using our reversers. Yeah. It felt ignored. It felt ignored and it needed some attention. Look at me! Acknowledge my existence! Right. Once again, the sun is shining over here. The sun is shining and the Orange Pride is now third to arrive with 2 Embraers before it. KLM flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart. Here in the foreground, that's an Embraer 175. Behind it is KLM flight 1774 arriving from Berlin, an Embraer 190. That means that this is the Orange Pride. The PHBVA KLM flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. And it seems that we've crossed through 500 likes. Thank you all so much for that. Hope everybody is still enjoying the stream. I know I certainly am. Orange Pride, the next airplane of interest, now third to arrive here. Embraer 175 landing. Embraer 190 before it. We're not going to pay too much attention to these Embraers. Keep the Orange Pride in the center of our focus. Even with 400 times digital zoom in addition to the optical zoom, it's still hard to discern the orange with the sun not being out where it is flying right now. Yeah, and indeed, Lima in Peru, that is close too. There you go, Frank. That was an itch I needed to scratch for you guys. KLM flight 1774 in the foreground on the right. Still looks like a small airplane, even though the bigger airplane is behind it. It's really surprising just how busy it is over here for a Monday. Now, full as well, in 50 minutes from now, the Emirates A380 is also going to land here. Unless something interesting will follow it immediately, it'll probably be the last airplane for today's show. Martijn has to go. Physio appointment. Thank you for stopping by. And good luck with the physiotherapist. Now the orangey front bit becoming a bit more apparent. Obviously no longer have to resort to using 400 times digital zoom in addition to optical zoom. KLM flight 744 returning from Lima in Peru, of course close to and a bit further away from flight time for the Orange Pride, which is now also basking in some sunshine. Spoke too soon. It's still September after all. Sunshine over here in the Netherlands. What? 11 hours and 40 minutes on the way. The PHBVA Orange Pride, first flight January 2008, making it just as old as the airplane that we used to know as Chucky, but now is just Dupree. Very typical KLM style landing. Keeping up the speed. Vacate late sooner to the gate. Einde reverse landing. Hadi Bert, goedemiddag. Orange Pride. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, at least the sun has begun to shine in time here to see the beautiful colors. Although we, of course, saw yesterday the beautiful 757 in the Aurora Borealis special livery with gradients galore. And I have to say, I think gradients are so much nicer to look at than two colors with red, white and blue as the border in between them. In other words, either make it retro or maybe just go back to the old version of the Orange Pride with the gradient. Marissa also has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Marissa. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully see you later in the week. You can see the wind has begun to pick up a little. More Viagra in the air. The windsock definitely a bit more erect. More excited. Right now, the sky is in, the sun is in a blue bit of the sky. Means it's going to shine for a little while. And that's a good thing because I was starting to get a little chilly here. It's also better for the lighting. Makes the airplanes a bit more lovely to look at. Orange Pride in the background. On its way to the main platform area. Let's have a quick look. One Quad Squad member is still expected. It is now flying in Germany and the ETA is 107. So very consistent. Just a couple of minutes past 1. It will make it a candidate for the center runway, unfortunately, but we are still able to see it quite well from over here. The meter in the ticker is updating automatically, but for those of you who are more visually inclined and want to see the meter instead of just reading it, this is the current status quo. Few clouds at 1600 feet. With the exception of those, it would have been a cavalcade day. The wind is blowing from the south, and that means headwind for the pilots landing on runway 18. Wind is variable between south and southwest. It's 10 knots. 19 degrees C is the temperature, and that is approximately 70 degrees F. Has been very consistent all throughout. So yeah, we're sticking around. Hoping to see the Emirates A380 obviously to the Polderbaan, but that's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up too high. It's not in the books for today. Iceland Air Flight 500 is looking to become the second airplane to arrive here today, flown in a by a 767-300. Lot is turning in. Bit closer by already. Flight 263 arriving from Warsaw. I'm looking for a very polished airplane. Struggling to find it. It's always hard to estimate where airplanes are based on what you see on flight radar. You'd think you'd be able to see it. There it is. Saw the flickering of a small light. Iceland Air Flight 500, somewhere behind it, also turning in from the other way, from the west, in other words, from the left. And there's also a BizJet approaching. Or at least it's flying north of us. Not seeing it, nor am I hearing it. No dice. Peter Olding, welcome. Good afternoon, mate. Hope all is well. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we are here at the Polderbaan. Runway 18 right, primary runway for arrivals for another half hour. The only runway for inbound traffic. The full quad squad will feature in today's show. 2 747s, the A340, and Orange Pride have already landed. We're now waiting for the pièce de résistance, which is the A380. And it is due to arrive here around 1:10. A bit before. Split Scimitar, good afternoon. Or morning to you, perhaps. Iceland Air 767 should be behind this Embraer 195. Yep, there it is, becoming apparent. The cream of the stream. Indeed, Frank, that's a nice one. The cream of the stream. Hey, for the first time I am finally seeing overhead traffic. It's the third consecutive day of them not producing contrails. I was hearing something. That's one of those Chinese Dreamliners, isn't it? Hainan? Hainan Airways, if I recall correctly, on its way to China. Probably from London Heathrow. So this is a lot to see. Flight 263 arriving from Warsaw, Embraer 195 long range. Sierra Papa Lima November Delta is the registration. 1 hour and 38 minutes on the way. After that we are going to see the first 767 of the show, Iceland Air Flight 500. Yesterday we were lucky enough to see it was flown in the 757-200 with the Aurora Borealis special livery. Unfortunately, not so much luck today. We have to make do with a 767-300 in the new livery. 2 hours and 39 minutes on the way. TFISN, Tango Foxtrot India Sierra November. The airplane we're now looking at is 25 years old. First flight was in August of the year 2000. Hadikor, goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, all others who may have joined. Most of the quad squad has already arrived here. There were 2 747s. We began with Singapore Airlines cargo around 10:07. Not much later after that we saw Saudia flight 933 arriving from Jeddah. Shortly before 11 a.m. we saw the Suriname 800. All those airplanes I mentioned just now landed here on the Polderbaan. Same too for the KLM Orange Pride. Oh yes. Iceland Air using the reversers. And the Volvo is driving piles. Another pile driver. Glide slope shot that we're looking at currently consisting of a 737 from KLM and an A321neo from Aer Lingus respectively. Gilberto says that the tractors are using the runway in the wrong direction. Indeed. You should be going the other way around. They're driving with tailwind while they should be arriving here with headwind. These aircraft engines are truly an example of reverse engineering. Indeed, Frank. Indeed they are. Oh! That almost looked like the excavator was trying to catch the 737. 737-700 without a carrying cabin. Icelandair new livery. What an improvement. Goes well together. Older airplane type and a fresh, modern, very sterile livery. Miniature tractor will be passing by. Another New Holland small blue tractor. That was a cute little tractor. Now in the meantime, Aer Lingus just now landing here. It does come equipped with a carrying cabin in the back, as it should be. At a respectable distance from the pilots. Looking up, I'm hearing an airplane, and I'm seeing it despite it not producing a contrail. Now the question is, can I also show you? It's already a bit further down. No. Oh wait, here we can catch it. Probably, or still not. Definitely was able to see something, but the airplanes passing overhead aren't producing contrails. And that of course makes it hard for them to see. Three narrow bodies are approaching right now. An Embraer 190 arriving from Barcelona, an A320 Neo arriving from Belfast, and an Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg behind it. Fourth to arrive, Delta Airlines Flight 164 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And Mehmet just once again, just now gifting a membership. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. David Kavanaugh, the recipient. David, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Have fun with those custom emojis. Make sure to have fun with them. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. Mehmet, thank you so much for your kindness. Once again, another gifted member courtesy of you. And David, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Hans-Josef, herzlich willkommen. Guten Tag. Chris, goedemiddag. Erik, goedemiddag. Welcome one and all. Now, if you joined us only just now, you probably missed most of the quad squads Two 747s have already landed, so too has the A340. The A380 is still underway, but it will probably land on the wrong runway. We should still be able to see it quite well from over here, as you guys should know by now. But the A380 is the one that's going to get away from us. It's expected in half an hour from now. Hey Donna, good afternoon, happy Monday to you too. KLM Orange Pride also already landed here earlier. Thus far, all those airplanes of interest have landed here on the Polderbaan. It's just the A380 that is probably going to get away. Then again, I say probably, you never know for sure until the fat lady sings. Anything is still possible. This is an EasyJet A320neo arriving from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Flight time 1 hour and 10 minutes. Hey Klaas, goedemiddag. Welcome back everybody. You guys are still in time for the A380, which is expected in half an hour from now. Two 747s, the A340 and the Orange Pride have already landed. All of them here on the Polderbaan. The 747s have been Saudia, and the first one was what was it again? Not Cathay Pacific. Singapore Airlines cargo. Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg, and after that, time for a Delta wide body. Glide slope visibility slowly but surely improving a little. Not very substantially, but still reasonably. Here in the foreground we have KLM flight 1710 first, arriving from Luxembourg, 44 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel Echo Zulu Delta. 16-year-old airplane, first flight April 2009. And this flight not flown by Captain Wheelie. How long has it been since we last saw an Embraer 190 from KLM doing such an extensive wheelie? I don't recall when the last time was. We've seen multiple other long wheelies in the meantime. Most notably recently Vueling A320s. Also several wide-bodied airplanes, not only Delta but also KLM. But Embraer 190s, that used to be the trademark airplane type of Captain Wheelie. Don't remember. Maybe once in the beginning of the year? Anyway, this is Delta Airlines Flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours, 51 minutes the flight time. The November 827 November Whiskey is now touching down here. Over there in the shade, over here in the sun. And an idle reverse landing. What a shame. That is a shame. That's a waste of opportunity, a waste of potential. There's one airplane type that is perfectly well equipped to get loud while landing. It's Delta A330s. Well, A330s in general. So it's one of those opposite land days where some of the Deltas are rolling out using idle reverse. And earlier we saw that the what was it? The Fuck D was landing using the reversers quite loudly. I have to take a small sip of vodka to process all this. That's hard to wrap your brain around. Now, it is 12:44, so I'm imagining that the A380 is approaching Dutch airspace. Pretty soon, we'll get the formal confirmation that it's probably going to be assigned to the center runway. Still, you never know, fingers crossed. This is KLM flight 1614, returning from Milan in the north of Italy. Flight time 1 hour 18 minutes. Now I'm happy to see that KLM flight 755 is flying base and is going to arrive here in a few minutes from now. It's the one that's arriving from Guayaquil, which is a port in, as you all know by now. KLM flight 1020 is going to be the next arrival here. Embraer 190 with behind it KLM flight 1602. That's an A321neo arriving from Rome. And the crayfish fisherman. He's also going back. Better audible than visible. Remarkable difference with the density of the fields here compared to the south side of the pipes. Over here they didn't cut the grass. The municipality apparently thinking that people will not go so far to the north to be watching airplanes. They're wrong. Have a look. For a Monday, it's teeming with people here, particularly being so far to the north already. Makes me wonder how crowded it'll be when I return to the parking lot after I'm done streaming. A pretty hopper has arrived. All right. And he asks if I still have the brass sound effect. I definitely do. Right. Excavator driving in headwind as it should be used. This is KLM flight 1602, A321neo, arrival from Rome, flight time 1 hour 48 minutes. This is Fax D, Papa Hotel Alpha X-Ray Delta. Brand new airplane, first flight December 2024. Ah, it's picking up stuff over here. The excavator, just a little south of me. Jörg also back in the chat. Good to see you, Jörg. Not sure what he was doing here. He either deposited something or picked something up. Ah, no. He still has it in his claws. Probably excess stuff that they don't need further north. Martina is also back. Tuning in from a wet and windy Ennis. Well, over here it is not wet, nor is it windy. Right now, the sun once again has begun to shine. For how long remains to be seen. We definitely began the stream with more cloudy conditions. Slowly but surely things started opening up. This is an A320neo arriving from Palma de Mallorca, EasyJet, flight 27882. Next after that, KLM flight 755, arriving from Guayaquil. And Antoinette tells us that the A380 just entered into Dutch airspace, which means its runway assignment should probably be known by now. And as expected, assigned to center. Thanks for looking that up, Maria. Can't say that I'm surprised. Next up, KLM flight 755, arriving from Guayaquil, and that is a port in. Flight time 10 hours and 59 minutes. It's the PHBQB, Bravo Quebec, Bravo. The flight duration 11 hours precisely. It's 21 years old, first flight October 2003. Yeah, this is north of the pipes, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, Klaas, gifting a membership. Thank you so much for your generosity, Klaas. You didn't have to do that, but you went ahead and did it anyway. Pascal Aquina, the recipient of the gifted membership by Klaas. Thank you so much for your generosity, Klaas, and welcome, Pascal. Don't forget to say thank you and have fun with those custom emojis. KLM flight 755, arriving from Guayaquil. Will it get loud? Well, silly question. It's a KLM. Idle reverse landing it, as they almost always do. They already saw I was paying attention, so there was no need to wake me up using those reversers to draw the attention to them. Hey, let's see if I can catch that one. That is definitely a bit easier to spot, but you can see overhead traffic. It's not producing any contrails today. Is that Lufty? No. Where is it? No. Which one is this? Hard to make out the airplane, the carrier. But that's what's happening. Overhead traffic, it's not producing a contrail today. Nor did they do that yesterday and the day before yesterday. The weather doesn't look like it's very typical for a high pressure area, but I'm always, I'm inclined to think it is relatively high pressure out here. Thai, thanks Stacy. Thai, undoubtedly back to Thailand and originating from London Heathrow then. Oh, Brussels to Shanghai, huh? Cookie Darcy says Brussels to Shanghai. If that's Thai, then that seems a bit strange. Juneo Air NEG says, okay. Never heard of that one before. And that flew from Brussels? Juneo Air. I probably totally mispronounced that, but apologies to the Chinese speakers. Juneo Air? Never heard of that one before. Wind has begun to pick up all of a sudden. Brussels to Shanghai. Okay, well, there you go. Wind is picking up in the last bit of the stream, which means I am going to resort to enabling image stabilizer. Hopefully that'll mitigate some of the vibrations caused by the wind. Glide slope visibility is once again looking nice. Third airplane should be turning in and should become visible from the left. The two airplanes on the glide slope are an Embraer 190 arriving from London City, BA City Flyer, and Air France arriving from Paris, an A320. The third airplane turning in from the left is going to be Vueling flight 8309 arriving from Barcelona. The airplane overhead was north of me and flying to the northeast, Stacy. Ah, Chinese silk ribbon livery. Wow. Can't say that I ever heard of that airline company before, so surprising that it would fly to Brussels, of all places. If there's one airport that is relatively calm in comparison to Schiphol, it is Brussels Airport. Only a fraction of the flights that Schiphol sees on a daily basis go into and out of Brussels. Junjo. Still not sure what you guys, how you guys pronounce it, Stacy. Junjo. We should ask ChatGPT. It is 11:56, ladies and gentlemen. That means that in 4 minutes from now, the parallel arrivals are commencing again. What was the ETA of the A380? It has been 109 and later 107 very consistently. Karsten also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. This is Air France flight 1640. Cabin cabin in the back. 45 minutes flight time, nominal flight duration. "11 minutes, 1:15. Thank you, Antoinette and Maria. Big picture wise, this is what it looks like, looking to the south. You can see the sun is also almost in the south. Highest point in the sky. Cloud streets are forming. The wind currently blowing from over there. You can see linear formations in the clouds, linear cloud formations parallel to one another. In Dutch we call them wolkenstraten, which literally translated to English means cloud streets, and you can see why. It's indicative of the direction of the wind. The wind is coming from where the camera is now pointing to. Further west, more open skies. Now my residential place is more to the west, so I'm lucky to say I'm going to a more sunnier location after the stream is done. Now we're not done with the stream yet because the A380 still has to land here. Hans' favorite, Vueling. Haven't seen Han in a while. Has anybody heard from him? I'm assuming last weekend he went to the circuit. As a Formula 1 fan, an avid fan. In the meantime, Karsten, mate, what are you doing? Karsten just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Mate, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much for your generosity and doing it anyway. Welcome to the Aurora Skylounge new members. If you are one of the recipients of Karsten's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you or dankeschön to him. Have fun with those custom emojis. That goes for all members, new and old. 34 custom emojis at your disposal as a member. Have fun with them. Spamming is not allowed, but you are allowed to use custom emojis as much as you want. Make sure you do. It's a waste not to do that. Andy says it's pronounced fueling. Well, the opinions differ. Vueling, vueling, wheeling, fueling. KLM flight 1754 arriving from Hamburg is next. You can see it is an M190. Buddy says last time I've seen him was a couple of weeks ago. He was not feeling well back then. Hopefully nothing serious. I sure hope so. Normally speaking, he usually pops up even on Formula 1 days, if only briefly. And he also pronounces Lufthansa as Luftwaffe. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, Andy, I have to say. Fueling, wheeling, vueling, dwelling. That's all well and good. That's all ballpark proper, but Luftwaffe seems a bit off. Hey, it's time for an A350 arriving from Boner. Flight 5997. Work to fly. What the fudge? The WTF Corendon arriving from Bonaire. 8 hours and 34 minutes on the way. It's the ECNZF. It always is, isn't it? I remember that there used to be two at some point. Or at least there used to be one and then they changed it for the other. And that is this one, which it has been for a while now. The ECNZF. I wonder if it's also a fixed crew because World to Fly Corendon certainly doesn't have any A350s in their own fleet, so they probably will not be having any pilots that are type rated for the A350, which makes me wonder if it is a wet lease, is it just one or two crews, or are they rotating the crews more than the airplane? Tours to Boot asks if there are any dogs out there today. Nope. But there is a Kanta. Red Kanta coming this way. No, no dogs. Oh! Speaking of dogs who have arrived in the chat, Alvin is there. Alvin is there. Gary asks, what's the difference between wet lease and dry lease? If I'm not mistaken, and I'm not 100% sure, but I am 99% sure, I think it is either with crew or without crew. A dry lease comes without crew, wet lease comes with crew included. All well on my end here, Alvin. Hope that also goes for you. It's a Monday, vacations should be over, but you can see it's getting really busy here. The A350 from World to Fly Corendon is of course a sight to behold. Beautiful machine, beautiful airplane type. And a lovely wheelie as well. Paid close attention, you could see that there was an airplane already flying in the background. Parallel arrivals have begun. It has been past 1 now.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Too little, too late. Stranger says wrong. Wet lease is with alcohol and dry lease is snacks only. My bad, mate. I am so sorry. Right, TAP Air Portugal up next. Arriving... No, wait. That's the next airplane behind this. This is Transavia, flight 6728, arriving from Seville. A321neo, 2 hours 22 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Tango. Hey Ryan, goedemiddag. Despite the airplane being relatively new, no Karen cabin on board this airplane. Karen will have to sit with the plebs. She's gonna want to speak to the manager about this. Stop, TAP Air Portugal. TAP Air Portugal arriving from Lisbon. Now, where's the A380? The A380 is base and about to turn final. That's not it. It should be further back. Which means I think it ought to be somewhere over there. I think that's the Sky Express in the top. So I'm pretty sure that the airplane on the top right is Sky Express. And somewhere behind it should... Ah, there it is. Haha. We've got a visual on Emirates flight 147. Ah, it's pronounced Voiling, like China. That is a good one, Rob. Thank you for letting us know. It's such a hard name to pronounce, isn't it? Voiling, fueling, wheeling. So many different opinions. Maybe we should open a poll and see what we should use here in the channel. Boina goed. Almost. Boina. Well, the backdrop is nice and makes for good contrast. It can either be a hit or a miss. Today it seems to be a hit, the backdrop, providing more contrast so that we can see what's going on in more detail. If it looks pixelated, this is because I am using a lot of digital zoom now. But we can see the outer main gear coming out. Then comes the inner main gear. Then all the hatches close again. Main gear out. And then the hatches will close, making the look a bit more clean. There you go. That's one gear extended. You can also see that the slats, the leading edge, the slats are already lowered. Obviously, flaps already set, at least to some degree. Looking at what is behind this airplane arriving from the west, except the 777 arriving from New York. I'm not seeing anything immediately behind the A380 that I think is worthwhile sticking around for. So I am going to make this the last airplane for today's show. And weather permitting, after today, I will be back again on Thursday. Emirates flight most prevalent standard livery. Of course, our members already have access to the latest iteration with the ribbon. Quite a few custom emojis that you can now use if you are a member. The Emirates tail, the A380 headshot, the quad squad, the quad squad emoji. Of course, the wrong runway. And Airbus. There's quite a few that you can already use. Emirates flight 147. 6 hours and 31 minutes on the way. Alpha 6 Echo Oscar Juliet is the registration. And indeed, Karsten, also the airplane dance you can use. And the glide slope shot. Indeed, Thijs. Absolutely right. Absolutely right, guys. This time of day with the sun out in the south, you can see that the livery is half illuminated. In the meantime, over here on the Polderbaan, I can see one of the bird control vehicles driving over the runway. A runway inspection is in progress, which means that everything coming in is now assigned to the center runway for the time being. This is going to be the last airplane for today's show. Let's see if we can also hear the reversers in a few moments. Ordinarily, we should. Yep. That's them, all right. Still going. And now it's pulling down again. So yeah, that was the last airplane for today's show. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Looking forward to seeing you again during the next stream, which hopefully will be on Thursday. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining me here. If you enjoyed what you saw and you haven't done so already, consider adding a like. It'll help to bring in new people in the future. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships, those who became a member themselves. Thanks for the merch shop purchases and PayPal donations that also still happen now and again. A massive, massive big thank you also once again to Maria and to any other moderators. Alvin also in the chat today for keeping the chat and the stream friendly and accessible for another day. I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully see you all again on Monday. Take care, be safe, and see you all soon. Bye for now, guys.